Is the TRD Pro Tacoma really worth about $10,000 more than the Colorado ZR2? We'll find out in today's comparison. The Doug Smith Chevy is providing us with this Colorado, so we'll include a link to their website in the description down below. Let's get right into it. This week's giveaway highlight is a 57 Chevy Resto mod with over 600 horsepower. If you happen to be interested, use code BHC or click the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment. Any donation, $25 or more, will give you 4x bonus entries into this giveaway. The Colorado is powered by a turbo 2.7 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic. Fuel economy is 17 miles per gallon combined. It puts out 310 horsepower, 430 pound-feet of torque. The Tacoma is powered by a hybrid turbo 2.4 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic. Fuel economy with this combined is going to be in the low 20s. Power outputs with this 326 horsepower, 465 pound-feet of torque. If you're able to, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. It massively helps out the channel. Now, the Colorado is very aggressive with the styling. It comes with front recovery points, skid plate protection, underneath fog lights, so it's got all the works that you want. And the Tacoma, it's also very aggressive. Now, it has all the stuff the Colorado has, plus it does have a light bar integrated under that Toyota logo. Now, both of these trucks are equipped with 33-inch tall tires. They're a little bit under 33 inches, but pretty close. The Colorado has 17-inch wheels, whereas the Tacoma has 18-inch wheels. Taking a look at the side profile of the Colorado, it's pretty aggressive looking with those beefy fenders and fender flares. Independent front suspension, solid axle in the back. It's leaf sprung in the rear, and it does have multi-matic shocks. Now with the Tacoma, independent suspension up front, solid axle in the back, and again, it's got that beefy look. I mean, the fender flares on this thing are enormous. Now the Tacoma has adjustable Fox shocks, and then it's actually coil sprung in the rear. We've got an outlet in the bed of the Colorado. Got bed liner from the factory, which is definitely a nice thing to have. You got the tailgate storage too. Well, it's up front technically, but these are the locks. Anyways, ruler here on the tailgate, and it's very easy to lift. The Tacoma's got a little outlet in the bed, and then again, plenty of storage here in the back, as you can see. And then the tailgate itself is actually power up. Now, you know, with the Colorado, you've got the little exhaust tip dangling out the bottom. But yeah, I like the back end of this quite a bit. I think it's really sharp looking. And then popping over to the Tacoma, you guys can see here we've got kind of a similar setup with the exhaust tip hanging down low, and you've got recovery points on the back end, very prominent. Got the gray with the neon stitching here on the door panel, and I love the seats here in the back. But before we go over those, manual window. But yeah, look at these seats. Really cool looking with the gray. Also got vents in the back, some USB ports. And then it's cramped, right? Mid-size pickup trucks are, but I do fit back there. There is a decent amount of space. The Tacoma's got cool red on the door panel with the stitching, and it actually has a power sliding rear window, which is a nice upgrade. But yeah, the seats, I love the style on them in the back. I think they're really cool looking. The problem is they're not really all that usable. With the shock absorber seat, I physically cannot fit back here. There is no way that I can really make that work. But at least you do get a little outlet in the back with some USB action. Blind spot monitoring with the Colorado. We actually have double pane windows up front. Memory seats with this. Got all of your window controls, mirror adjustments, and then look at that. More of that nice gray trim. Payload capacity is solid. It's 1296 on the Colorado. And then you can see here with the seat, again, perforated down the center. We do have power adjustments and lumbar support on the side. Nice steering wheel with the trim. Heated steering wheel functions on the wheel itself. You've got practical controls there in the back. I'm not sure the windshield wipers are on. Whoops, wrong way. Anyways, cruise control on the other side, column mounted, turn signal indicator and everything like that. Full digital gauge cluster. You can change what is displayed there in the center depending on what you're looking for. This does also come with a 360 camera system. It's got good resolution, bunch of different viewpoints. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's quick to respond. Comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then below that, we've got our dual zone climate controls, heated ventilated seats with this as well. And then a bunch of little switches here. You notice diff locks front and rear. You also have an auxiliary switch, phone charging pad, and then the shifter for the 8-speed. You've got your drive mode select. So part-time four-wheel drive system with a 2-speed transfer case and 4-wheel auto. It's got everything you want. Cup holders there, center console. I do like the trim on the top of that. No center for anything with this one. Blind spot monitoring with the Tacoma, just like the Colorado. Double pane windows up front. Got more of that red stitching and everything on the door panel. TRD Pro. 1,200 pounds of payload capacity. TRD there on the seat. Again, it's perforated all down the center. Power adjustments on the side with lumbar. You actually get 4 auxiliary switches with the Tacoma. You get your TRD light bar function there too. And let's pop that on. Boom! Digital gauge cluster in the center. Customizable. A little bit different style than the Colorado, but I mean, kind of similar functionality with it, right? And the steering wheel itself, I think it's nice. You got the TRD logo there at the bottom. You got practical controls in the front face. The real cool party trick with this though is the camera. 360 camera system. And there's even this fun off-road view. Yeah, I think this is probably the best in the mid-size pickup truck segment just because the screen is absolutely massive. Heated ventilated seats, dual zone climate, phone charging pad. Colorado's phone charging pad is probably a little bit more usable in a way. Now this is a little bit different with the off-road kit. So part-time four-wheel drive system, but no four-wheel drive auto. And it has MTS crawl control, so it's got advanced traction stuff, but just a rear diff lock. It doesn't have a front. It does have a stabilizer bar disconnect. Some more cup holders, got storage, nice trim on the top. Camera rear view mirror, it's a nice thing to have. Again, the power setting window, and then this does have a sunroof up top too. Now when it comes to pricing, that Colorado's in the mid-50s, whereas the Tacoma's in the mid-60s. Like I said, it's about a $10,000 price difference. Let's see which one performs the best. ZR2 Colorado. I don't think I've done this comparison in a long time, or I don't know if I've ever. I know I've done ZR2 versus some different trucks, but yeah, no, I usually do the Bison. It's rare that I'll use the regular ZR2, but I think that I should probably use the regular ZR2 for more comparisons. So, sorry, I cannot see that window sticker, but let's see how she scoots. I love the customizable gauge cluster. I think it's pretty, oops, wrong button. I think it's pretty cool. You just go through all the different configurations. It is comfortable to ride. Let's see if it has double pane windows. Yeah, it does have double paned up front. So that's gonna help out with noise insulation. But that does mean you're going to hear a little bit less of some of the fun stuff like the turbo and everything, but it's still, I mean, the engine's right there, so you still get quite a bit. Don't worry, it's still fun. Yeah, the suspension comfort in this is quite nice. See how it does over yield train tracks. Pretty good. I mean, the leaf springs, you're going to have a little bit of shimmy with those. But that's where you need a driver mod, right? Just because something to say, just because something isn't like perfect in every single circumstance, doesn't mean it can't get through it. It just means you got to work a little bit. And some people want to do that, and some people don't. Some people want the car to do everything for them and do it perfectly. This is nice over the bumps and everything. It's comfortable. And the torque's great. Now, with these 4-cylinder turbos, what I've learned about them is they're best driven like a diesel. You just kind of go partial throttle, you get up to about 3,000 RPMs. You can go a little bit higher, but you don't take it up to redline. It can do it, but it's not a high horsepower engine, and so it's better just get up to about 3,000, let it shift, 3,000, let it shift. And so that way you'll constantly be right around peak torque roughly. And so then the driving experience feels great. Again, it feels like you're driving a diesel, but the benefit is you don't have to deal with any of the diesel crap. There's no DEF, there's no EGR, there's none of that diesel stuff that you got to worry about braking. You know, the systems you got to worry about braking. Right, those emission systems on diesels just choke them out. If we could get like diesels without DEF and everything in the US, then I'd be like all for it. But with all the emissions junk on them, it's like you get barely better fuel economy, a lot less reliability. Yeah, this thing drives well. Again, it's cool, and this is the thing that's great about these turbos is the technology has improved enough to where these little turbo engines, if they've got the torque bands tuned properly, again, it drives very diesel-like. So ZR2 Bison. This is a solid truck. This is kind of more like, I would say, for off-roading, I'd look at this more like crawling and overlanding rather than like crazy Raptor type driving. Yeah, you can do the Raptor stuff, but it's got the suspension travel and everything for it. But yeah, this is kind of more of a laid-back truck. You can definitely tell. Let us set off in the TRD Pro Tacoma, back to back with ye olde Colorado. I realized I forgot to mention in the walk around comparison. Sorry, I'm doing like 3 back-to-back comparisons, so I kind of, yeah, we'll miss things. Rock rails, both of them have rock rails, so that's cool. But yeah, I just back-to-back Ranger, Colorado, Tacoma, Ranger, Colorado, Tacoma. It's part of the job, obviously, but sometimes I just get things mixed up. I'm only human. Maybe that's why I'll get replaced by AI, because AI won't get things mixed up, right? But it also won't be able to tell you how a car drives properly, because I don't think it knows how to drive a car yet. We'll see. Good torque. It's very smooth. This feels like, compared to the like when you compare the Ranger Raptor to the other two, it feels like just different world. This feels more similar style wise to the Colorado in terms of, you know, kind of like a diesel-like engine with all the torque and how the suspension is. The Colorado has more comfortable suspension, though, I will say that. These shocks, you can tell they're kind of going for like handling and everything, and so the comfort on them it's not bad, but it's not great either. Yeah, it still did a little shimmy. Still did a little shimmy over the tracks. Interesting. And these seats are like, the Colorados are like not known for the most comfortable seats, right? They're firm. These seats I think are like less comfortable than the Colorados because they're firm plus tight. At least the Colorado, like, you can breathe a little. Yeah, the torque on this is very impressive. Toyota basically is giving us a diesel without giving us a diesel with this hybrid. And I really do hope that like more manufacturers end up offering these turbo hybrids, because they are awesome with the performance. Yeah, it's pretty darn smooth. So, Colorado or Tacoma, this comparison. I think we can all agree, sorry, this feels like it's falling off my head. I think we can all agree the Colorado is, on paper, a much better value because it's offering pretty much everything the Tacoma offers at like $10,000 less. Now, is it a hybrid? No. Does it have some of the gimmicks the Tacoma has? No. It doesn't have shock absorber seats. It doesn't have a camera rear view mirror. Doesn't have a sunroof. But again, those are all gimmicks. Those aren't like stuff that you need. So I would say that, yeah, you take away the gimmicks and the Tacoma would probably be similar price to the Colorado, but they want to just add so much to it. So let me know which way you'd go, but I kind of, just because of the pricing, I kind of lean towards the Colorado. You got to take that into account. When you just look at the truck to truck, I think some of the stuff with the Tacoma is cool. Like this handles really well. I do like that. I love Toyota's MTS. It's great off-road. And I do like stuff like the camera rear view mirror. It's a gimmick, but I kind of like it. But yeah, it's just that pricing. It's crazy for a midsize. I would have never thought, but yeah, I mean, watch, in 5 years, midsize pickup trucks will be 80 grand. At the rate we're going. Oh, you want a new Tacoma TRD Pro? 80,000. Take it or leave it. So, let me know which one you'd pick.